Hi everybody, welcome back. So, we have a new package today from a new company. At least new to me, and I think it's pretty new to most people. I can tell you first, before we even get into this, that I was very excited when I got the contact from them and got a look at their website. They have such a nice selection of things. Now, I did not notice, because I didn't go looking, for if they have any diamond painting stuff, but I do know they have a lot of beautiful stitching stuff. In the description box, you will find something very, very neat. And that is that on top of the specials that they have running, you can get an additional 5% off with the discount code provided in the description box underneath the video. Okay? But let's look and see how their products are. I chose 3 images that really struck home with me, especially one, and for those of you who have been with me for a long time, you will know why this image meant so much to me. But let's look and see what we've got. I'm wanting to branch out and try some of the other cross-stitch manufacturers because I don't know what they're like personally. Don't know till I try them. And I figured, well, let's see what they send me. Is it Joy Sunday? Is it something else? But they are all printed because, you know, it's still a lot going on this time of year. I have cut the bag open ahead of time because I didn't want, of course, my personal information out there. So let's see what there is. Oh, I can see from the back what this one's going to be. Ooh, it's DIY Cross Stitch brand. Okay, now I've heard good things about this. I've heard so-so things about this brand. We're going to find out, okay? But I chose this cute Halloween image. Everybody who knows me knows I love Halloween. Oh my goodness, I love Halloween. This one probably won't get done, completed until next Halloween. Because this is, if I remember correctly, a 40 by 50. Which is not huge, but it's not tiny when you come to cross stitch. You know, even in diamond painting, that's like a medium size. And when you're talking about cross stitch, it takes a little more time to get something that size done. So let's find out how these companies' products are. Okay, so we have a piece of paper that's just the image, but it's actually printed pretty closely to as vibrant as it appeared on the website. Not too far off. Oh, see, the threads are very vibrant. Oh, I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. It's a very simple image, and it's got 25 colors. That's really amazing to me. Really amazing to me. Look at the vibrancy of these yellows and reds, greens. Look at that. Wow. That's pretty impressive. And there is absolutely no 310 in it. Wow, I would have thought there would have been a bit. But there's not. And it had an additional hank. They just didn't twist it. Of one of the colors, number 25. So, and I can tell you that that is 38.65 in DMC. Just by looking at it. Chrissy's trying to eat a Starburst. So, if you hear the little package rattling, that's what it is. So we have 2 needles. They are stuck into the canvas, so please be careful that you, number 1, do not lose them. And number 2, that you don't get yourself poked. This is, I believe, an 11 count, if I remember correctly. I could look on the link, but I'm 99. Yeah, in fact, I know this is an 11 because I only ordered 114 because in the images I liked, there were 2 11s and 1 14. I would have preferred they all be 14. But that's because I like working with just the 2 threads. This has got some pretty significant confetti around the bottom and the leaves. But not horrifying. Not super easy either. But up in here you've got a good block of color with a little bit of confetti mixed in. So that's not too bad. That won't be bad at all. The bat's got a little bit of confetti. But the pumpkin and underneath on the leaves has a lot. I will tell you this is very well printed. It's fairly stiff. It's not ridiculous, but It is not, however, serged around the edges. That is the one thing I think this company should do, is serge the edge of the fabric. Most definitely. Now, I can tell you the image is not 40 by 50, but the piece of fabric is. Yeah, it looks really good. The symbols are super, super clear. It's definitely going to be one that, you know, I can work on pretty dang easily. And especially up in here, this part will be very, very fast. That part will go pretty much like lightning. And I'm sure that that is the, it's almost a wheat color to me. But it's called Winter White. So that will be very easy. And yep, that was, no, 38.56. Sorry, not 30. Is it 38? I'm half blind today, guys. 38.66 instead of 65. I was close. That's why it's a little more wheat than Winter White. There we go. Okay, so that is the first one. I like that. It looks really good. 2 needles. You have everything you need. The canvas is printed well. The one thing I would give this company advice to, send a pattern with it. Because if something were to happen that moisture got on this canvas, there is absolutely no way that I could do it. Absolutely none. That, I really wish were different. Truly. So, when I speak with VIP Cross Stitch, they've asked for my suggestions, and I will let them know they need to tell DIY to send a pattern with the cross stitch kits, because that really should have had one. Because there is a significant amount of confetti, and like I said, if this were to get wet, which that happens from time to time, you know, a drop of coffee can get on something, or, you know, whatever it is, or humidity in your area, that can, you know, really affect it. I have one of my pieces that just the humidity we had in August and September, there's a tiny area of it that I can't tell which symbol is which on it, and I know it's more than one symbol because I looked at the pattern. So, without the pattern, I wouldn't even be able to work on it. So, let's look at the other one that appears to be DIY also. Yes, it is. Okay. So, this one, you guys know I couldn't resist this. It's also a 40 by 50 and 11 count. This one will probably take me a very long time to do, because that looks like it's going to take a lot of confetti and a lot of colors. Let's see how they do on it, because it's not all that thick, surprisingly. Excuse me with the coughing. It's bronchitis season, guys. It is that time of year. Okay. Come on. Alright, so what's in here? So again, we don't have a pattern. So, VIP Cross Stitch, please, when you buy the DIY Cross Stitch brand, they need to put a pattern. They need to include a pattern. Otherwise, this is virtually impossible to do in most of the United States where they have humidity, you know, significant humidity around the year. So we have, again, 25 colors. I think that image should have some more colors than that, but we'll see how it comes out. And I think that was my friend Natalia's problem with this company, is they didn't have enough colors. And I don't know if she mentioned that they didn't have a pattern. I don't remember, but the colors are quite beautiful. Quite beautiful, and they seem very appropriate to the image. So, I'll give them that. 2 needles that are definitely a fine enough needle, again, for this. Now, what is this? Is this oh, this one did send a pattern. But I will tell you, there's no way I can see that. No way. That should be printed much larger and sent, so it's the same size as the piece of cross stitch. But I am appreciative that this one has one. The other one didn't. The Happy Halloween Trick or Treat did not even have one. So, VIP Cross Stitch, please let DIY know they definitely have to have a pattern included. And we would be grateful if they would be large enough for us to be able to read them well. This is obvious to me that this is an actual printout of the exact canvas because the symbols are identical. They're identical. Now the canvas itself, the fabric is printed perfectly. It's vibrant. It's well done. Seriously, as long as, you know, you've got low humidity or don't spill anything on it, I think this is going to come out beautifully. Now, thankfully, in Phoenix, most of the time, there's not humidity. The only reason we even had it this month is because rain. We had quite a lot of rain yesterday. It was, you know, in the low 80s, and the day before that, we were at 85 and up in humidity. So that's ridiculously high for here, especially. But I am impressed with the way that the pieces themselves are printed. They look great. They look wonderful. I'm glad this one had a pattern. It will require my magnifier for me to read it. That's not a good thing. So yes, this is a 40 by 50. In stitch count, it is 129 high by 173 wide. And because this one had the pattern, I'm able to see that better than I was able to, which I could, I'm assuming on the piece of fabric itself. I just didn't notice it at the moment because I was paying attention to everything else. Now what I do like is that you see the thread color next to the symbol. It does have the DMC codes. This part's well done. This entire part is well done. This is a definite step up from the Trick or Treat piece, which didn't have it and really needed it. But thankfully, as you know, they are printed extremely well. And I have to say that I am very appreciative of, because I've gotten some that are not printed so well. They're hard to see, and then I can't work on them. I end up having to give those away. And that makes me sad, because I only choose to do these printed pieces that I love. I never pick diamond paintings or cross stitch that I don't truly love the image. Because what's the point in having it then? So for DIY cross stitch, please fix the pattern problem. VIP cross stitch, please make sure that you get that through to them. Maybe they can, you know, fix it and make sure that none of the other really adorable Trick or Treat one come out without a pattern. And maybe it was just my particular one. They missed it. It's possible. Now that I see that this one had it, maybe they just missed putting it into mine. And that's okay with me, but it wouldn't be okay for most people. I also think that the pattern should be printed a little darker as far as the amount of ink they're putting on it. It needs to be more visible. So it's printed a little lighter than it should be, and it's definitely printed way too small. But I'm thankful at least one of them has it. Okay, so on to the one. This next one is the one that as soon as I saw it, I was done for. Didn't matter what brand it was. I had to have this. Okay, so this is a no-name brand cross stitch, which is fine with me as long as it's a good product. I don't care. I can tell you, I can see that pattern, thankfully. It has, I can tell by just before even opening it, that pattern has that plasticized back on the paper. Now, those could be stickers and I just can't seem to get them unstuck. I don't know. I can't tell for sure. Alright. Sorry for all the crinkling, folks. That's part of the unboxing process. Okay. Let me get, this is a sticker. So you can use these in your image journaling or whatever. Look at that. You know I had to have this with the two white pups in spirit and the one howling. It just makes me think of Snowy, Frosty, and Chrissy when Snowy and Frosty passed away, you know. Now this is a 40 by 40. This is a 14 count. Super excited. Super excited. This appears, I don't know if that is Russian or Ukrainian for the writing. I'm sure that Natalia would know. I couldn't tell you, because I don't know those languages. And she's amazing in all of that. She does know. So, Right, this tells you how many strands there will be. These are actually rather thick, these pieces, the cards that are holding the threads. I'm kind of concerned that I will tear this, trying to remove thread, but we'll see. I've never worked with one that's like that. Now this should be pretty much all blues. Blues and whites, basically. Oh, yeah, this one's a good size to work on in hand. Ooh, that's got a lot of threads, surprisingly. Okay. Really quick before we do that, because that opened up this. So this comes with instructions for cross stitch, which is perfect for a beginner. Absolutely perfect. If you've never cross stitched before, this is going to explain everything that you need in order to do a cross stitch. Okay? And believe me, those are helpful. Now, I had my grandma to teach me, you know, but most people don't. Now, this is almost the same size as the cross stitch piece. This, I'm much happier with as far as printed patterns, because it is more sturdy by far. And if this does turn out to be a sticker, then you could take this and put this on some foam core board or something to that effect, and it would be forever easy to store, you know. Let me grab those glasses back so I can see what I'm doing with the pattern. Okay, let me see. All right. So I can't see grid lines on the pattern as far as individual grid lines in the areas that are big patches of color. But you can definitely see everything printed on here as far as symbols. That's pretty awesome. I like this. Now, if it had the individual little squares, it'd probably be even easier, but that's okay. I'm good with this. Because when there's blocks of color, I really don't need to know that. It's a little hard if you're trying to count this, though. If you were working from this pattern, it would be difficult to do areas like this, where you had to count a few and not all. I do like that it also has the instructions along the side of the pattern piece. Okay, so this piece has 17 colors. It really doesn't need more than that, truthfully. Many pieces, you know, especially wolves, I would have said I want a lot more color than that. But truthfully, I don't see where it needs more color than that. So the light color in the wolves is going to be that winter white, that 3865. That is one of my favorite colors in the DMC range. The symbols are very, very clear on this pattern. I'm very pleased with that pattern piece. How sturdy it is awesome. Especially when you have puppies that jump up on your cross stitch or your diamond paintings. You have no idea how many times I've looked at Christine and gone, no, you're going to get your paw in the glue. We have the 2 needles again in the fabric itself, which is stiff. Sadly, again, not serged. You guys need to serge these things so that they don't fray while we're working on them. Now, it does feel like there may be some type of glue along the edges that is holding it together. So that might be why they're not needing to serge it. Those appear to be about a size 24 needle. The other ones felt like a 26. So I actually would trade these out with needles on one of the 11 count ones, because these are more suited for 11 count. Those are better for the 14 because they are smaller. And I in particular like working with small needles. Okay, look at that. Now it is hard to see the image when it's unstitched. So we will see how this turns out when it's stitched, because this will be getting quite a bit of attention very quickly. You guys know me. It's the white wolves, and you know, there's only 2 American Eskimo patterns I've ever found, and of course they're not pre-printed. They're made by a company that I've worked with their patterns for ever and ever and ever, and I absolutely adore them. So this is the closest I can come to what looks like my puppies, and I have a particular love of wolves anyway, and white wolves, of course, are just so beautiful and so rare. Now, this is printed well. Okay, this I need the glasses off for. Yeah, it is. It's printed super well. Wow. Very, very well done. Now, we'll see how the detail comes out in it. I don't know yet. I can tell you I can see the face here, and the eye, and the ear, which is good. And it's not even done. You know, that's a good sign. Just like in the diamond paintings, it's a good sign. So we'll see how it turns out. Yes, this is going to have a ton, absolute ton of this dark background. What color is that? Like I said, when I have headaches, I can't see worth the darn, which is kind of complicated. Let me see on the pattern. It's going to be easier to see there. Number 14. All right, $9.39. I couldn't tell here on the, I couldn't read the DMC code on the fabric itself, but that's okay because we have a pattern. Yeah, we need both, guys. VIP cross stitch, we need both very desperately. But you can see why there's a lot of $9.39. I'm guessing there's $8.23. Yep. Yep, that's why, because this is a very, very, very dark blue image. It's a night sky, you know, but it just captured my heart. The symbolism in this image is just, yeah, it's me. So I will be starting these, yeah, very quickly. I will probably do the cottage one last because of the season, you know. Of course, I want to start on the Halloween one right away because it's almost October. I'm so excited. And I have to start this because I can do these big, huge blocks of color while I'm watching television. That's awesome for me because I can glance down to where I'm getting the needle and we're great. So I want to say a great thanks to VIP Cross Stitch. Please check that description below. The links for these pieces will be down below, along with any current specials going on. And I do know that right now, if you order $50 worth of product, you get free shipping. And I believe, I could be wrong, but you'll be able to check it for sure in the description box. If I remember correctly, that email stated that $50 worth of stuff right now comes with 2 free gifts. I thought that was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I can tell you, this was not expensive. These 3 combined came to about $26 American. So that's nothing for 3 pieces. And they're really pretty well done. Yeah, you know, every company has little things that they could improve on, but I'm pretty impressed. So as you can see, I'm going to show you really quick these threads. Now here, I'm pretty impressed. So they didn't give me hanks of the extra colors. They actually made sure they had room for them in the slots, and they are numbered appropriately with multiple 14s, multiple 11s, and so forth and so on. But see, this is almost all blues. Look at that. Oof. If you love blue, this will do it for you. Oh, but the second little card. Now, of course. Of course, of course. Teal, hello, you know that's good. I'm just going to fall in love if there's anything teal. And I didn't know there would be. So, and we have that little bit of that winter white. Just a few strands. So we would have, each one of these 2 has 6 in it. So you've got 12 strands to work with. Which, you know, because I fold them in half and work them, that means I have 12. But anyway, if you're working them full length, you would have 6. That works very nicely, guys. I'm actually quite pleased. Quite pleased. This one in particular, the pattern, I'm very happy that it's so sturdy. I would love it if the grid lines for each stitch showed up a little bit better, but I think overall it's something I can work with. The DIY cross stitch one that had the pattern, it would be nice if it were printed a little more darkly and a little bit larger because, you know, us old ladies are a little sight impaired. And then the Halloween one, my only sadness is that there was no pattern to it. Other than that, it looked wonderful. I was super happy with all 3, and I will get started on these and we will get a good, you know, look at how they start coming up. Because, of course, I'm not going to review it by looking at it and telling you, oh, this is what you're going to have. Yeah, I can tell you the kits look great, or look really good, but I can't tell you how they're going to come out until I stitch some of them. But I will get this up as quickly as I possibly can because I want to make sure that you guys don't miss these amazing sales. And that discount code I believe is ESK050FF, if I remember correctly, because I was super happy it had to do with Eskies, you know, because I am Mama Eskies, I'm Eskies. So that's awesome. So I will talk to you all again soon, probably for something a little bit Halloween-y, because, you know, it's almost spooky season. I'm super happy. It's my favorite time of year, sick or not. It is my favorite time of year. My thoughts and prayers are with all of you, as they always are. Please just stay safe, everybody. And I will talk to you again soon. And we will do, you know, some stitching chats on these together as well, so that you can see how they're working up. So please stay safe. God bless you all. Bye-bye.